Welcome to the South African Football Fan Podcast. For the fans, by the fans.
What transpires here is that I can tell that it's going to dent a little bit in those who are less fortunate. And we must remember, we also want them to have the love of football. They need to get the coverage. They need to know about their teams. They need to support these teams. At some stage, 1 or 2 years down the line, they would love to go to stadiums. But it should be something that will still be triggering them while they are sitting there. They cannot go to the stadiums. I think that is how I feel about it. And whatever it is in between the SABC and the PSL, I think they should try to resolve it as quickly as possible for those less fortunate individuals, so that they can get the coverage of the football fraternity of South Africa.
Yeah, but this is also caused by the greediness. You can remember just 2 years down the line, we had a very same challenge when it comes to CAF. They take the football rights and they sell it to a company in France. So every time when the local broadcasting stations need those games, they have to pay a lot of money per game. So yes, those football officials, they must also consider us, because whatever it's happening, remember, without fans, there's no football. Yes, even if you can sit there, there's no football. So they must also think about us when they're making those decisions, because I think they must share. Because like soccer, for example, or any sport, it's a matter of the national interest. Anyone in the country watches sport. Can it be rugby, soccer, cricket?
It's a national interest.
Those sporting codes, they must be accessible from the free channels. They mustn't take all the rights and give it them to the pay channels.
And I really do not understand, because they can see that soccer is the cheapest sporting code that we can ever have in South Africa, because others, soccer, I'm like stunned every time when I look at a soccer match ticket and it's 40 rand, then you go to other sporting codes, you go like 250. You know, like, and there's a reason for that, because they know that soccer has been supported mostly by less fortunate people, and now all of a sudden they want to deny the very same people that they are decreasing the price tickets for them, and they are denying them the opportunity to see what they love. You know, it's a bit difficult. Hopefully our plea will come forward to those who have got ears to hear, and then at least think for other people, you know, and not try, they should be just, they should apply justice instead of fairness. In all fairness, it's good to develop whatever they want to develop, but when it comes to justice looks at different things, different angles. That's why in court they'll ask you, did you drive this far? Say, okay, and where was this guy? Because now we are trying to get justice. So there's no justice in this whole PSL and SABC saga. It's just somebody thinking for themselves alone.
But I just hope they'll resolve it, because sometimes you work till late. Then the radio, SABC radio, will sometimes help us with to know that exactly what is happening in that particular game. So I think because I've also heard that also the government is involved. Maybe they will try to negotiate.
If it's SABC, that means SA is there. So government is indirectly there.
So yes,
they call them what? What do they call them? SABC. They call them, what do they call them? These companies that are
state-owned.
SAB has got to be a state-owned
company.
It is state-owned.
Exactly. So the state must come in handy there, honestly, you know. We can't afford that the state goes and give people grants, and then the very same grant, you need to take it and go pay
DSTV.
And, you know, or go to stadium with 400, you know.
DSTV is expensive.
I mean, when you come back from that game, you are broke, or you pay that account, you are broke. So government must also intervene, you know, put in some funding in there, you know, at least make it lighter for everyone.
Gentlemen, can you just maybe say your last words to finish up the interview?
Last words. Do I have last?
No.
I doubt I have last words. But I would say my last words would be, as a Mamelodi Sundowns supporter, I would love to encourage everybody who is supporting football, doesn't matter which team it is, I would love to encourage them to be there for their teams, be there for your coaches, because this hiring and firing, it's not good at all. It's just as an indication that somebody elsewhere doesn't do their job. You know, when you are a supporter and you want the coach to be fired, you need to ask yourself whether you are doing what you are supposed to do as a supporter. Are you supporting enough? Or should we fire you as well as a supporter and say you are not allowed to support Celtic anymore because now you are not doing your duties? So this hiring and firing must come to an end so that the quality of the football can improve. Supporters, if they can just learn to do what they are there for, which is supporting. It doesn't matter who is in the starting lineup, who is not. We are not there to support favorites. We are there to support our team. And the team consists of everyone who is wearing your colors. And moreover, when it comes to BIBs, we are actually donning the orange colors, and that orange color it's for visibility and dominance. Actually, what we want to do, we want to dominate Free State by starting to consider the smaller towns. Exactly the same thing we are talking about with regards to SABC and PSL. Most of our team representatives, mostly in every team, they like to consider big cities, like we need to have a branch in Bloemfontein, you know, in Gauteng South, Durban, you know, forgetting that we've got Excelsior here.
You've got Belfast.
We've got Verkeerde Vlei here. We've got Soutpan here. So now, our aim is to try and get closer to those people, because now in our lineup we are standing whereby we need to go see Petrasberg, we need to go see Beltfontein, Soutpan, Brandfort, Edinburgh. You know, those places. You know, most of the teams don't have any reps there, because reps are in the better cities. But the people at the better cities need to pull up their socks and go see those guys and see what will happen. Possibly at the end of the day, we'll find our stadiums being filled like those ones in the European leagues. You know, you'll see even midweek we'll be like, you know, but unfortunately we tend to ignore some smaller things. And we know Uguti, a river, it latswa ke dinokana, ba re noka ka Sotho e tlatswa ke dinoka. Ne ke re ke bua ka Sekgowa ke lebetse Sekgowa se na ntho tsena tsa Sotho.
The river is fed by small rivers.
Yeah, just to wrap up, yes, as you have said, yes, I'll speak now as a BIBS. Yes, Sundowns support as a BIBS. Yes, we are also involved in a lot of activities in our community, because remember, we started small, so we must also go out there and find the other T's. We must rediscover where we're going to find them. We'll find them at school, we'll find them at orphanages, we'll find them everywhere, we'll find them in the churches also. Yes, we need also to engage those church people in the schools, whereby we'll have to recruit those young ones, because you see, football, they said it's a universal language. It changes everything. There is a disadvantaged child in Phase 6 or in Kailicha, in Bergman, who loves Sundowns, but with the situation in which he or she lives, she won't be able to watch Sundowns. She won't be as fortunate as I am when I started to watch Sundowns when I was 8 years old. You understand? So we've got some kind of charity activities which we do in the community. We've adopted a home in Rocklands, Holistic Home of Safety. Yes, we visit them. We're still going to visit them after 3 months. So we want those guys to understand what is it exactly to be a Sundowns fan. So basically, as Sundowns fans, and we also encourage also other fans like your Celtic, we normally interact with them. That guys, let's change our community. Let's show those people who don't understand football that football, soccer in particular, can change people's lives.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Talking about football as a universal language, I love the term because you can even go back. You know that before the Ellis Park disaster, the stadiums were getting filled up at any given stage when we go to watch our games. It goes down to now I'm appealing to all the football organizers in making sure the safety of the supporters before we can recruit them to the stadium. But as BIBs, we never say that. We are collecting everything that we see in front of us in making sure that they understand. Particularly, my target is women and children. Women and children should understand the word football and how it is actually clarified going forward. You understand? Football is not about going there and watching Kama Billiard, missing the clear-cut chances at Kaizer Chiefs. It's all about the universal language that you are talking about. You get to meet people, you get to see places, you get to be in a mix of the, particularly when you're a Sundowns supporter and maybe Celtic supporter, I don't know, other teams, whereby you will be singing and embracing, enjoying the atmosphere of the stadium. Getting a social stability. It takes you away from actually the problems of the grant that maybe you got from the state and that is finished by buying meal and cooking oil and all that not. Yes, the little that you had to pay to go to the stadium might have bought soap maybe somehow, but it relieves the stress, and then it comes to your mental health. It goes with health as well. You understand? You need to be clear up going to the stadium. So basically, my target it would be the women. I would love to have as much women as we can have, whom have got a better understanding of football. I would love them to be at BIBs, whereby we will be traveling all over with them and with their kids.
Yeah.
Yes, Nambuhlali.
If you are not clever, you need to ask. Understand? So that's basically how it is. When you are not that clever, you must remember we are not given the same level of brilliance, understand, and looking at things. But when you are not that clever, you need just kneel down and ask God. He will give you. That guy Aslech.
He promised us.
He promised us.
Yes. That one is guaranteed.
And I will give it to you, just ask.
But as a football supporter, then I would love everybody and encourage the people of South Africa. Like that has mentioned this side, he made an example of overseas-based stadiums that getting filled at any given time. Is it Monday at 12 o'clock?
Even if it's a small team playing.
Even if it's a small team playing, understand? We don't have to look that Kaizer Chiefs is playing today. It's an old team and Sundowns is playing today. It's one team that, you understand, the better team or the best team, understand? So we need to attend games and have that social stability.
Yes. That's what is needed.
That's what we need. We don't need people sitting on the coffee tables. We have to go to the stadiums. I'm appealing to the South African South African people, let's go to the stadium and support our teams.
Viewing areas, if there's a challenge, viewing areas.
Yes, at least.
Viewing areas. That unity.
Maybe Bloemfontein municipality might organize when South Africa is playing or Kaizer Chiefs Pirates is playing a big screen here at Hoffman Square. You understand? They advertise it. You understand? A month prior, we are going to be live, Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates. I'm just making it because they would say that because it's a Sundown, he wants Sundowns to be put in there. In any case, I won't be there. I'll be at the stadium. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is that we need to give that to the people. They have to feel it. We need to drill it in their hearts and their minds. The football is the universal language.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming today. It's such short notice. That was the South African Football Fan Podcast, the third episode, for the fans, by the fans. Yep.
Come here.
Thank you.
You can find us on SoundCloud, AudioMac, and YouTube at NIR Media. Feel free to send us your opinions or views about the show at nirmedia17@gmail.com.